Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of EdgeMasterGaming, where today we're going to be going over my next solo run on Those Who Remain. On my last video where I show you guys how I successfully soloed Bypass on the classic game mode, I asked for 125 likes and you guys came through. I really appreciate that, thank you very much. You guys requested that the next map should be Manor, and here we are. But before we get started, if this video is helpful to you in any way, I would appreciate if you guys hit that like and subscribe button below. Also, don't forget to check out the description box for timestamps as well as other site links that help support EdgeMasterGaming. Alright guys, let's get started. It's wave 1 guys, and like before, the loadout I'm using is the MG42 and the M320 grenade launcher. The perks that I currently have haven't changed either, and that's Bruiser, Speed Demon, Brisk, and Juggernaut. Right now I'm heading to the Spotify, or what many of you may call the radio objective. Out of all the objectives that require you to sit in a circle, the radio objective by far is the quickest. Having this objective on wave 1 is almost like hitting the lottery. Why, you ask? Well, that's because of this. If you can get one of these bad boys within the first 3 waves, you are golden. None of you guys should have any issues finishing this objective this early in the game. If you do, you may want to consider hitting that power button on your computer. No, I'm just kidding. On wave 2, it looks like our luck continues because we now have 2 objectives that shouldn't be that difficult at this stage to complete. The only thing that may be an issue is the amount of time required to complete both. Now, because I already have the 50 cal from the first wave, I'm going to completely ignore the supply drop. Our only objective here is to get the experience and the cash. Now that's the one thing that I like about the escort objective. They begin to move regardless of what floor they're on as long as you get within proximity. The downside, however, is that they look injured based on how slow they're moving. Oh my gosh, sometimes I wish I could drag them along because they move so slow. Why does holding their arms affect how fast their legs move? Alright guys, we're now on wave 3 and oh look, there's another escort objective. Yep, and he's holding his arm. Can I just say for the record, if you're going to move this slow, at least be dragging your legs across the ground or something. Good grief. After completing the objective, we can utilize the remaining time that we have to collect any and all items for the final waves. Whoops, pardon me. It is now wave 4, and I would just like to say that on this wave and above, I would begin ignoring objectives altogether. Especially with my luck, I'm sure that the escort has another broken arm or something. Anyway, at this point, we're going to make a stand here at our camping spot on the 2nd floor, foyer, balcony, whatever it's called. Just stand by the 4th window counting from here back. We'll just go ahead and call this the sweet spot on this map. No infected will attack you from the rear. They will only climb the steps by the 1st window, causing you to inflict massive bodily harm to only their face and neck area. Make sure that you do your best to make every shot count because you'll need to ensure you have enough ammo to make it to the end of each wave. At this point, just continue to hold down the fort. Mind you, this is pretty boring, but very effective if you want to win. Alright everyone, it's now wave 8, and I know we've skipped a few rounds, but this is where things get a bit hectic in classic mode. While we're standing here, you may encounter a point where you'll need to reload your weapon while the enemy is getting close. Just simply walk back until you fully reload and turn around to force the infected back, which I will demonstrate here. Alright guys, there's one thing that you need to know right here. You do not want to go beyond these steps because if you do, this will cause the infected to begin coming through this area. So just be mindful of that. Now let's go ahead and move on to wave 9. Moving into position on wave 9, you may have noticed that I didn't mention anything up until this point about putting down wires. And that's because truthfully you don't need them per se until the final wave. But if you do want to put some down, then I would put them down by the top of the staircase right here. Another thing to note is that you will encounter more bolters at this stage. Yep, that's right, these little guys right here. They will leap through the air, and when they do this, just back up a little bit. When they fall in front of you, you can get the best shot and get back into position. Also, another thing about reloading, sometimes I may do something like this where I throw a Molotov to buy myself some extra time. This will not only increase my chances of performing a reload successfully, but this may also help prevent me from going beyond that deadly staircase. So remember when I told you guys what can happen when you go beyond these steps? Just watch what happens here. As you see, this could have been very bad. Try to only enter this area within the last 30 seconds if you can. Now that I've shown you all the things that you need to do, let's look at the Wave 10 in its entirety. Alright guys, very important tip here. Please ensure that right after you put the 50 cal down, that you switch back to your primary before you mount the weapon. You do this because the game defaults to the last action prior to mounting the 50 cal. What you don't want is a mop of infected crowding you when you're jumping off the 50 cal and your only response is, "I have a hammer." Now I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have the 50 cal? Is beating Manor on Classic still possible? The answer is yes. I actually have done it about 3 times now. But unfortunately I didn't capture that footage. Well guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what map that I should try next for solo. Thank you all for being a supporter of the channel, and if you haven't done so, it's not too late. You can still hit that subscribe button below. And as always guys, remember to have fun, take care, and God bless.